poppies because they have this way of coming up everywhere and just being in the most surprising places, you know, the median of the road or coming out of the crack in the sidewalk. Like they have this force about them, and they also have this delicacy, and the intense color palette of them made them a clear choice of what my subject would be. For example, this work, which was an initial kind of prototype for the California poppy piece. You'll see it's kind of long. Was cut out of this like single sheet of paper and then unraveled and painted. And I got the kind of paintings from observing the flowers in nature and painting them small watercolors. And I have been painting with this watercolor set for nearly 20 years, and it's just a small travel set, and it has a little flask, so it's like on the go, and then I have a box of small paper. So that's how I got those, and then I shifted away from this more kind of representational depiction of the poppy and moved towards a more graphic interpretation, like almost like a kind of machine interpretation in drawing them. I could kind of foreground the color relationship rather than have people feel like I'm trying to mimic the flower. I'm trying to like evoke more the feeling of the flower through the color. I did pick an actual flower, which is completely faded, but I took this from my neighborhood and brought this flower to the paint store, and this was the color of the petal, which is now completely drained of color. These are what those two colors look like on a larger scale, and I used these two colors as the only two colors in my project, except for the platform that they rest on, which is this kind of pale gray, and that is called San Francisco Fog, is the actual name of the color. The experiment that I've been kind of trying with these pieces is not to control the color variation by painting multiple colors within the painting, but by having a single color that behaves differently because of where it's positioned in space. So an orange here and an orange here that are exactly the same may appear differently based on the light that they're picking up, like whether this is angled that way or that way, this way or that, you know. So I think like that has been my focus, to think about a single color being many. With the looping, it feels like reminiscent of like walking, or there's something physical about it, like the body in movement, this kind of like stepping. It feels very like organized and measured to me. On the one hand, this idea of color, which is a very abstract idea, and then the form, which is measured and controlled and rhythmic. That also somewhat connects to like the fact that color is all wavelengths. So like again, having this like wave pattern maybe echoes a little bit of like the scientific side of like the way we perceive color through wavelength. I don't necessarily want the audience to feel like there's any particular like meaning to be derived or resolution to come about from presenting this sculpture, but I do like posing the question of what does it mean to try to bring wildflowers into a gallery, you know, kind of knowing that it's an impossibility that wildflowers could live in that space without natural light. They would be closed up if they were.